We are so back right now. I got this 350Z behind me. It's parts car. We're pulling the transmission out of it, and the transmission is getting used to Ferrari swap my S13 Kart. Let me show you what I got. I got a lot of good parts for it ready to go, and it's going to be hopefully a relatively quick build, relatively smooth, I'm hoping. Let's go. Now I got Ricky over here pulling parts off this for me. This is an 05, so it has like a CD08, I think, so decent transmission. Apparently it shifts good, so that's good. We actually just pulled this out of the garage, which is over there, but we pulled it out the backside. It was super sketchy. You probably saw it on my other socials if you watched those. If you didn't, then you should. But we got this thing out here. It's super dirty. I have not touched this thing in at least actually like 2 years, but probably longer than that because I've been here more than 2 years anyways. And just for reference, I think all the fabrication on this thing sucks. I built this thing so long ago. It needs so much work and so much redo, but I'm not really going to worry about that. I'm just going to put a big engine in it. And then we got this Maserati here. It's wrecked. We got it from Copart. It has the 4.2 F136 engine, very similar to what we used in the FRS, but this one is actually a wet sump engine. You could tell because it has an oil fill right there. I think the other ones have an oil tank up here or something. I don't know the specifics. This is the engine I'm going to use. It runs good. This car doesn't drive because it's got a transmission issue or something. We'll figure out when we get there. Otherwise, pretty cool car. Going to part out the rest of it. One thing I really love about these, which, you know, there's not much to love. Seats are kind of nice. They're probably worth some money. But this door shut. So nice. Now, adapting the 350Z trans to the Maserati engine, we're using this adapter kit from Speed Gems. We got the transmission adapter here, which is pretty standard. And then we have this adapter for the clutch disc or whatever. This whole setup is so much better than the one we used in the FRS, going to a T56. The first reason, CD09 is a way better transmission for the application because 350Zs and 370Zs are high revving engines like the F136. T56 goes to an LS, which is not a high revving engine. And then also, this is all one piece. It's a little heavy. It's 14.5 pounds there. The other one had a whole LS flywheel, and then this adapter that was probably like this long that bolted from there to the factory engine crankshaft. I will put a link down below for 10% off adapter kits from Speed Gems. They got a lot of different options. They also have an OM606 to Chevy or Ford manual option, which I'm really interested in because I've always wanted to do an OM606 swap. So we'll do that eventually. But first off, let's do the Ferrari swap. Now this right here is the crown jewel of the whole thing. This is a Ferrari F430 intake manifold. So it is rear facing, unlike the Ferrari California one we put in the FRS. It also sits a lot taller. These legs were maybe like this tall on the California, and then this was also a lot shorter on the California. So this is a lot taller, but luckily it's going in a Kart. And then also this is factory port fuel injected, whereas a California is direct injection. So we had to weld these on to the California intake before. Now one thing I might do is I might pull this cover off to get it repowder coated, and then while I'm there, I also might port the velocity stacks there, just for a little extra power, I guess, if that's really necessary. Who knows? So we got the car in the shop, we started pulling everything apart, then we realized we have to drop this motor and transmission out from the bottom because of these brackets and probably a bunch of more issues. But I did get the Ferrari intake manifold fitted up on there, and I think it's sick. Honestly, if you have a Quattroporte, you should put this intake manifold on your car because it would stick out the hood, you know, just the right amount of ignorant. I think you would be pretty sick if you did that. Alternator, super serviceable. This little oil cooler or whatever it is in there, I'll probably get rid of it, but if I don't, it's pretty serviceable. And then we have all of these things back there. There are 4 knock sensors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So most aftermarket ECUs can only handle 2. So I'll probably just do like, you know, 2 corners, you know, that one and that one or whatever, just so we get a good knock reading. And then I'm not totally sure what the rest of these go to. Then we got, this one's maybe oil pressure back there. And a lot of stuff I need to figure out what I'm doing with. This is the, oh, that oil cooler's made by KTM. It's actually really sick. Totally unexpected. Didn't really know that was a thing. Still probably getting rid of this. Now we got the engine dropped out of the car and everything looks good so far. It dropped out pretty easily actually. So next up we're gonna do the teardown and then start getting this ready to go in the new car. I'm gonna have to make custom motor mounts, obviously. And then I do want the headers to exit out the front, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take these and flip them or if I'm gonna have to make custom headers right now. I don't particularly wanna make custom headers yet, but I will if I have to. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna be posting a lot more content on this in the long form stuff and also, of course, on the short form and all those. So if you don't follow me there, you should definitely follow me there because I post a lot of daily small updates, but I'm gonna try to get back into posting long form weekly or however long it takes updates.